Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Well guys, once again I welcome you to my general training IELTS reading video. Are you ready to start? Yes, why not? Okay. Now this is your most favorite type of questions, and that is multiple choice. Now I'm gonna tell you how to read the question, whether you need to read the options first or the passage first, how to scan the clue words, and by the way, whether the answers are in same question order or they are in random order. All these things I'm going to tell you in this video. If you watch till the end, you will be able to sort out multiple choice questions easily. If you haven't subscribed my channel yet, please subscribe now and click the bell icon. So we are going to start with this. Now let's go down to the handouts and we solve the test together. Okay guys, now the last three questions and then we finish, right? So basically write the correct letters. You know this already, it's multiple choice. So let's do 38. You know what do the students do at the end of the test when the time is running out? 38 B, 39 C, 40 D. Okay, so they do like that. But anyways, let's see. Now we are very well familiar with the passage, so we can do this easily, right? They say here, the fire destroyed. When you read the fire destroyed, we are not clear. What is it that the fire destroyed? All the contents, but they said 95% of the contents were saved. I still remember. Most of the contents, the roof of the house, all the contents of the first floor. Now we need to see where do they talk about fire and then the destruction which was caused by fire. They talk about fire here, and they said here 95% of the contents from the ground floor and the basement were saved, right? Continue to rage, National Trust conservators, 95% of the contents were saved. So the fire destroyed. Now we need to see what is it that the fire destroyed. Yeah, they were saved. The following morning a park stood. Alright, it was a scene of utter devastation. After the initial sense of shock, the days which followed. We need to see what is it that the fire destroyed. First of all, marking the site out into grid and then salvaging everything. And alright, dustbins, we've read all about that, so there isn't anything. Let's see, there was great excitement as remnants of the lantern from the staircase hall were pulled out from the debris of two fallen floors. Alright, fallen floors. And also 3 weeks later, when the red room carpet thought to have been totally lost was found wrapped around the remains of a piano, there was a lucky reprieve of the state bed too. We need to see what is it that was destroyed. Staff who had left the scene at 3 a.m. on the night of the fire had thought its loss was inevitable. But when they returned the next morning, it had escaped largely undamaged. It had escaped largely undamaged. Firemen directed by the National Trust conservators from outside the tapestry room window dismantled the silk hang bed and passed it out piece by piece. 20 minutes later, the ceiling fell. Ah, my God. So actually, the night of the fire had thought its loss was inevitable, but when they returned the next morning, it had escaped largely undamaged. Now then, what was damaged? The question is, the fire destroyed or damaged. What is it that the fire damaged? It's only 20 minutes later the ceiling fell. So it means only the ceiling was damaged. All of the contents? No. They were saved. Most of the contents? No. The roof of the house and the ceiling, that's the same thing, right? And all the contents of the first floor? No. That is why the answer to question number 38 is the roof of the house, and for roof of the house 20 minutes later the ceiling fell. Clear? Alright, now let's just go on. This is question number 38. Now we move on to question number 39. One of the reasons the National Trust decided to rebuild, I know, where do they talk about it? One of the reasons National Trust decided to rebuild a park was, they talk about reasons over here. Yeah, National Trust. Unprecedented National Trust, the immediate question was whether it should be done. Now one of the reasons, what was that? They say here, building was unsound and weather had not been damaged by the fire was unexposed elements. Within a month after consulting many experts and with the agreement of National Trust Executive Committee, the restoration program began. It was undertaken for 3 main reasons. Now one of the reason, good, the answer is going to be here. After the fire, it had become apparent there just how much remained of the structure within with its splendidly decorated interiors. Okay, to have pulled the house down, as one commentator suggested, would have been vandalism. Also, the property was covered by insurance. Yeah, one thing is insurance. So the repairs would not call upon the National Trust's own fund. Lastly, much had been saved of the fine collection acquired especially for Uppark from this and this. So one reason, and second and third. Now here they say insurance is one of the reasons, right? And then other reason is to call upon National Trust own funds, and lastly much had been saved of the fine collection acquired. And then splendid interiors, to have pulled the house down, as one commentator suggested, would have been vandalism. Now let's see, what do they talk about here? 39. The Meads, this thing family wanted them to. No. They talk about Mead this thing, but actually they do not say that this family wanted them to do it. Yeah, it's here. This one. Okay, Matthew and Featherhouse and his son Harry, but they don't say anything that they wanted them to do so. So it's not this. The building as it stood was unsound. The building as it stood was unsound. No, it's actually not. They wouldn't have to pay for the repairs. Well done. Why? Because insurance covered everything. Good, 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 good. Here, saved the fire, acquired especially a park, and where is it? They talk about it. So property was covered by insurance. So the repairs would not call upon the National Trust. Exactly. And the option, they wouldn't have to pay for the repairs. C is the right answer. Now you don't need, I mean, it's understood, it's certain, it's sure, it's clear. You don't need to read anything else. 40. Some of the craftsmen and women, I know a paragraph where they talked about it. See that? Now we are familiar with the passage. So some of the craftsmen and women employed in the restoration of Uppark have benefited because, now they have benefited because of what? So this is the paragraph, craftsmen and women. They benefited, capable of doing the entire once the quality and skill of the individual and or company had been certain. They had to pass economic test. Every job was comparatively tendered. This has had enormous benefits. Good. Now they talk about it. This has had enormous benefits because not only have a number of highly skilled people come to the fore, wood carvers for example following in the footsteps of Grinling Gibbons, but many of them, for example plasterers, have relearned the skills of the 17th and 18th centuries, which can now be of use to other country house owners when they need arises. So some of the craftsmen and women employed in the restoration of Uppark have benefited because, now they have benefited because this has had enormous benefits because not only have a number of highly skilled people come to the fore, wood carver for example following the footsteps of Grinling Gibbons, that's the one who made that place. But many of them, for example plasterers, have relearned the skills. This is the benefit, relearned the skills of the 17th and 18th centuries, which can now be of use to other country house owners when the need arises. So benefits, they were very well paid for doing this. No. See, stupid option. Now we are left with 3 options. Their business have become more competitive. No. They were able to work with Grinling Gibbons. No. They talk about it, but they were not able. They say following in the footsteps of Grinling Gibbons. Right? So they were not able to work with him. No. They acquired skill they didn't have previously. That's right. Relearned the skills. Relearned the skills of the 17th and 18th centuries, They say, but many of them, for example, plasterers, have relearned the skills of the 17th and 18th centuries. Now, relearned the skills of 17th and 18th century. Do not confuse this that they learnt it and then they relearnt it. No, they are talking about the skills of 17th and 18th centuries and they relearnt the skills. So, they acquired skills they didn't have previously. That's why D is the right answer. If you do IELTS reading like this, you will get 40 by 40 correct answers and this will give you 9 band inshallah by the grace of Almighty. Hunna kyo je boota galan kadde. Welcome back. Yes guys, how are you feeling? Feeling great? Well done, very good. So this is how you have to sort out multiple choice questions, and don't forget my tips whenever you are solving multiple choice. By the way, you should have an action plan for each type of questions. That's all. I teach IELTS online. If you want to join my online IELTS classes, my WhatsApp number is given. You can contact me for that. Asad Yaqub, Master Asad Yaqub truly wishes you all the best. Take good care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.